Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. Hello, people. We are here. Exercise, mat in motion. Uh, let's start standing up. We're definitely going to do the lymph flush. The lymph flush can be like brushing your teeth, like something that you do regularly, in the morning, in the evening. It's not going to hurt you, but we'll breathe first. So inhale, open, stretch out and up, reach, and then exhale, soften and release. So let's actively really radiate away from center, radiating outward. And then as we exhale, very passive softening. Inhale, active, radiating away from center. And then softening, coming down toward the ground, connecting to the earth. Inhale, lift and open. And exhale. Yeah, we're not going to fall off the planet. We are connected by gravity. Inhale, lift. But if we add our sort of awareness to the fact that we're connected, it can feel a little different. So letting yourself ground your energy by coming in for a landing. I'm just going to shut some doors. And let's do another one. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, shake it out. Shake, bounce, soften, melt. And again, inhale, open it up, exhale, shake, shake, shake. Inhale, open, and exhale. And one more, inhale, and exhale. Just giving your body lots of capacities for different energy. And then we'll do the spiral, twisting, looking around behind you. I see the little pea pod over here with her foot hanging off of the edge of the cat tower. And then you can add a foot if you want to, just flexing and shifting your weight more, getting a little more relationship into the ground, into your lower leg. Breathing. And then we're going to do circles with our knees. So circling with your knees lets us really move through your feet. So yeah, feet, knees, circling around. And just so you know, like the knee is actually a hinge type joint. It's not doing the circle. While it's moving, the parts of your body that are adjusting to the circle are your hips, which is a ball and socket joint, and your feet, which is, I think that's actually a saddle joint coming down in here. But all that movement is coming through all the bones and muscles of your feet, mobilizing. Good. I don't know if I told you to change direction, but let's do a figure eight. So figure eight, circling one way and then the other. One hip circles, the other hip circles. Just feeling into one hip and then the other with that round movement, which is hopefully hydrating that joint. So hydrating into the joints. Movement hydrates tissue. It just redistributes the fluids in our system, in our body. And then let's just do a little ribs. So you can take your hands at the base of your ribs and just mobilize, circling around. As I move my ribs, I can hear inside my body a bunch of cracking and popping. Change direction the other way. And you can let your pelvis free up, let your head free up. So yeah, there's some motion and some mobility. It doesn't have to be the biggest, most mobility, most flexibility, but just mobilizing the spine. And then let's do head, tail one side, head and tail the other side. So it's kind of a weird movement. I'm shifting my weight, but I'm also getting this head-tail connection, both going one way and then going the other way. And then interlacing our hands and then getting the whole lateral stretch side to side. Rib cage, lungs, and heart inside of there moving around. Diaphragm moving around so that there's no stuck parts. Lots of capacity for movement. And then we're going to circle our shoulders, big circles. Yeah, so I am happy to be back from my week of traveling. I had my walk this morning. Walk, meditation, breath practice, all the things. Change direction, up and over. And then let's come in and do the rubbing your hands together, getting ready for the lymphatic flush. Whoa, letting go of anything that you need to let go of, bouncing around. And we're going to take our right hand up into this left upper quadrant, into that little area in there. And I'm going to move my head a little bit too, so that there's movement happening inside of my body. The outside is moving, lots of mobility. And then I'm going to go up into the angle of my jaw. So this is my right hand to my left still. Letting my tongue soften, kind of going under this edge. There's a lot of lymph nodes under there. Usually you can feel when something's blocked. You can feel it a little puffy. So if something feels sore, just be very gentle in that area. You're not trying to hurt yourself. And then take it to the other side. Left hand to the right side, this just above the collarbone. You can also kind of get under the collarbone if that feels good. But the place where the lymph is coming right back into the blood system is underneath here. And then it reintegrates and then flushes out again. So we want to clear the pathway back in so that it can filter and not be blocked. Jaw, neck, and throat. And I will say, I mean, I do a lot of body practices, but I had really bad allergies and they were getting worse and worse every year. And this year, no problem. So this stuff works for me. Maybe not for other people, but it works for me. All right, let's take it into these K27 points. So there's my collarbone knobs at the inside. I just draw down and then there's two little indentations there. And I'm gonna circle around, pressing into that. It should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, then lighten up, be softer and gentler. We all have sort of different tempos, different natural rhythms and natural tempos. If you're like a visual person, you tend to be pretty speedy. If you're more of an audio person, maybe a little slower. If you're a kinesthetic person where it's like really into feeling into things, you're probably a lot slower. I'm clearly a visual person. I am a speed demon. I have pretty well accessed all of those things. Change it so that your other hand is doing the circles. And yeah, it's hard for me to slow down. And I spend a lot of time feeling into my body. Right hand to the left upper armpit pec. So I'm kind of getting into this edge of my armpit, grabbing my pec and moving the whole thing. And then the same thing on the other side. And again, if it feels painful or if something's hurting in there, be very gentle, very easy. But sometimes that means you've got a blockage. So you want to get that moving. And it might be very soft, your way of being with your body. I call myself a rough and tumbler. Like I like to, be in it and feel it. And like I'm not too soft and gentle. I'm like, let's get in, let's do the hard thing. And I spent a lot of time roughhousing with my dad when I was growing up. So I think that was a big bonus. If you have kids and you're a woman or a man, roughhouse with them. Give them some physical, activity. Let's get into the cisterna chyli. It's below the ribs, above the belly button. And you can kind of curl over it, soften in. If I stay standing, my abs kind of pop it out. If I soften a little bit, I can get in there deeper. This is our biggest lymph node. And then into the front of our hips. Yeah, I've had clients that like, if you touch them, they're like, oh, oh, oh. So if you're really sensitive like that, try moving from the inside more, right? If things, and actually not just clients, people that I know that it's like their system has taken in so much, or they're so armored that like everything is like, ah. So just pay attention to that. What's going on for you? Taking it behind your knees, Or sometimes it's a body part. Like there are certain body parts that like you're not supposed to touch on other people. I don't mean you. I mean like my mom has certain places like she's like, don't touch me there. I'm like, okay. And then we're going to do these spirals again, letting that move. So if you have a particularly uh, sensitive spot, it may have something to do with past trauma in your life. It may have to do with the fact that that area is not moving very much. It may just be that you're particularly sensitive. So it's funny, I'll say I am emotionally pretty sensitive, but physically I'm pretty tough and resilient. All right, let's take it down to the floor. So the sensitivity can be in different areas of our lives, right? Like emotionally. At the same time, my feelings don't get hurt really easily, but I can take on a lot of emotional stuff. Just thinking about these things, like, right? We haven't spent a lot of time in our culture looking into these things. And I don't know. I mean, we might say somebody's very sensitive, but there are many different ways to be sensitive. Take it to the side, circle forward, around to the other side, and open it up. Sideways and forwards and sideways and lift. And then let's just spiral to one direction and spiral to the other. And come back in and change your legs. Non-dominant leg goes in front, side to side. Oh, I hear my stomach making all sorts of noises. And then circling the whole way around. Yeah, it's like, holy crap. I sound like an old ship, like the wood of like an old ship with its mast, which actually kind of goes with the little sounds that the cat makes. I was saying this in one of my classes that the pea pod makes all sorts of weird noises. She's a little special. Like, I know that we sometimes say, oh, kids today, they're different. Cats are different too. Like the pea pod makes all these weird noises like, she makes these little adjusting noises, and it's so funny. And then you come up to her and she's like, like she wants to engage, but she's also kind of like not psycho, um, nervous. That's what she is. She's nervous, but at the same time, she's not going to run away. She's going to stay present, but she's like, weird things are happening. That's my interpretation of the pea pod. Let's take the back of the hands together and inhale, open, exhale. Yeah, all the cats in this house. Well, Gaylord's pretty hardy, but the little white kitten he's got all sorts of stomach issues and he's all sensitive in the stomach. And then she's all like sensitive emotionally with her little adjusting sounds. And then inhale, open, spiral, and exhale. Inhale. Yeah, I guess what I want to say is that we all have very different triggers. So learning like what gets you anxious and what can you do when you get anxious? What calms you down? Just finding ways to like regulate your nervous system in different ways is helpful. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't talk about that so much. We're starting to. It's becoming much more common to talk about regulation of your system, at least in my world. Let's take it all the way down. Grab your block if you have one and stick it between your knees. Let's just keep the block between your knees for a second. Take a heel rock. So the heel rock is just a little push with your feet, trying to free up your spine, relax your head and neck. Breathe, sending a ripple of movement like a wave up and down through your body. Relax your jaw. And then we can take the hands down. Let's inhale, float the arms up, press up, and exhale, lower back down. I'm going to change the direction of my arms as I'm doing this. So palms are facing each other, and then palms are facing down. Palms are facing each other, palms are facing the floor. So I'm getting this little spiral. We would call it gradated rotation. So it's moving a little bit for each part of the trip that the arm is traveling along. And I can think of that movement going all the way down from my fingertips through my wrist, through my elbow, through my rotator cuff, even thinking of it traveling in a sense all the way into my rib cage and lungs, which it is, through the fluid body, through the connective tissue. And let's leave our arms down and press back up. So arms are down, press your pelvis up, circles with your hips. And then change direction, other way. Mobilizing your spine, mobilizing your guts, right? As you're moving around, your organs are moving around. So we don't want to like contract and constrict and compact them all. We want them to have some capacity for movement. Just letting the muscles work as necessary, not extra. Bring it in, roll it down, and take your block out. Going for a happy baby. Just free flow in your baby. Let go. The pole dance studio is having a student showcase tonight, and I'm performing. We had the dress rehearsal last night, and because I was in Vancouver, internally rotate one leg at a time, I didn't really have a chance to choreograph something. And so I've thought about it, and I have a plan, I have a costume, and I have a few moves that are choreographed, but most of it is not. It's mostly an improvisation, which is kind of difficult to put together when you aren't in the space that you're going to do it. Like, I have a home pole, but it's not very high, and it's thicker, and it's made out of a different material than the poles in the studio. So I don't stick on my home pole very well. Lift your butt, shake it out, let it go. So yesterday, circling your knees, big circles. Yesterday I was trying to like make the choreography and do all the thing, but it's like there's too many unknowns to really set it because it's going to be super different in there on those poles. Anyway, fortunately, I'm pretty happy to be improvising something. That's fine. It's just a little more complicated in a pole studio. Like, stretch it out, flex your feet, point your toes, fold it in. Reach it out, flex, point, fold it in. Out, flex, point, and fold, out. And I had thought about canceling it and just being like, I'm sorry, I can't perform. I haven't had a chance to put something together. And then I thought, just do it. Whatever happens, happens. It's just a student showcase. It's not like I'm not performing at the Met. And then I feel kind of like in life, like I'm the kind of just do it person. Might as well do it. If I don't do it, nothing happens. If I do it, something happens. Let's internally rotate one more time. Letting this massage out the back of your hips as you're rolling. And come back in. Pick up your butt, shake, 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 and release it down. Stretch your legs out and coming up. Open it out, down and in. Big circles. Up. Flex if you want. I'm going to point up and flex down. And it was very funny. So we're in the dress rehearsal, and one of the women who was running it said, remember, you guys, this isn't your job. We're just here, your students. If you mess it up, it's fine. Nobody cares. Which is just the truth about most things in life, right? We take ourselves so seriously. Now, if you're a geotechnical engineer, then you better be pretty exact. But for most other people, it doesn't need to be totally. Also, if you're a baker, and I know Saul is a baker, so sometimes you need to be exact, but sometimes you can have more freedom. Let's go with one leg at a time. One leg in, one leg out. Getting a big stretch through the hamstring, lengthening the other leg down and away. So think of one side of your body really getting long. So it's not all crunched up, but it's reaching out. And the other side is coming in. So one leg is lengthening out and away, and the other one is coming in. You can also drop your head to the floor if your neck is getting tired. So if you feel like you're creating tension in the front of your body and your chest, then let your head drop down. Most people don't need to be tighter in the front of their chest. Breathing into it. Feeling into your own body. Yeah, and I'm kind of flexing and pointing whenever I feel like it. And part of it is because I'm feeling the tissue in my calf and shin, but mostly in my calf. Especially when I'm here, I'm like, oh, I need to stretch that a little bit. Last one. Relax. Turn your head from side to side. Free up your spine. Let it go. Shake it out. And let's do one other thing. This is a very gentle somatic exercise. So we're going to take our hands right out to the sides. And let me show it to you this way. Okay. From here, you're going to put the thumb toward the floor. And both thumbs are going towards the floor. And you're going to turn your head toward the hand that's coming high. So shoulders are wide. You're looking towards the hand that's coming up. Thumbs are touching the floor. So we're getting this nice spiral through the tissue. And we're having this movement from
It's
the
very David
fingertips.
Byrne.
Very David Byrne.
Yeah,
Awesome. Did you see his show?
I did.
I heard it was amazing.
It was.
That's so funny. I love that this is David Byrne. I also feel kind of like it's Merce Cunningham, but he's not so spirally, but he's definitely angular. All right, let's roll from side to side. Open it up. Close it in. And then bring it in. And let's do this. Let's grab our block. Block is going to go underneath your foot. So block is under one foot, the other foot is on the floor, legs are parallel. We're going to inhale, lift, and then exhale, lower. If you don't have a block, maybe you have an old-fashioned telephone book or two big books that you can put under your foot, just so that you can have something to make your feet uneven. But you're trying to keep your pelvis at the same height as you press up and down, up and down. Going up and staying up, pulsing with your hips, just going straight up, trying to keep them even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Take it down, push the block to the other foot, and we'll just go up and down a few times and then pulse. Inhale up, both hips even, stay long through both sides of your body. Press and fold, pushing into both legs, up. I feel like for me, when I add the block, it really changes the awareness in my hamstrings and back body. I'm a big fan of this block under one foot version. The next one, we're going to stay up and pulse for 20, going 1, hips even, 2. If you put your hands on, you may have more awareness. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. take it down, and push the block back to your first side. Yeah. Press it up. Take the foot that's on the floor up to the ceiling. We're going to make small circles, soccer ball to beach ball size circles, pushing the floor away with the bottom leg, pushing the block away. And then flex and change direction. So on my trip to Vancouver, actually one of the really good things was I went on a big hike with my brother. Well, it really wasn't that big of a hike. It wasn't a super long hike, but it was like vertical, lots of scrambling up and then scrambling down. Point your toes, poking a hole through the ceiling. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex 1, 2. Hello butt. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take it down. So the trail is called Dreamweavers. And it's right, like, an 8-minute ride from my mom's place. And it was beautiful. And of course, there's like parts of the trail that are like washed away or trees have fallen down. And it says hazardous trail, like turn back. And of course, it's with my brother. So we don't turn back. We just make our way around and through, like bivouacking, if that's the right word, like on no trail, getting between one trail and another. Change it to the other side. And I was like, wow, this is pretty intense. And he goes, Laura, if you think this is intense, you should try this in the winter time. I was like, oh my God, no thanks. Press it up. Maybe I would, but I definitely would need some major spikes to do that. And I feel like my brother does it all without spikes. I got to ask him about that. Taking your foot off the floor, outward circles. He goes, we're going to come up to one of my favorite bridges pretty soon. Flex and change direction. And it's like this bridge of slats, like a ladder with slats across like a ravine, not that far away, but steep. And fortunately, there's like a cable to hold on to. Point your toes, pulsing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it down. And the bridge was like, it was narrower than a mat. Like it was not a wide, big bridge. Let's do a happy baby again. I was like, oh my God. But the fact that I had a cable to hold on to, I was kind of okay. And then from that bridge was a smaller bridge over not such a deep thing that was like really like a ladder with smaller. You could see underneath, like you can see through the holes. And my brother gets on it, who's, probably about 50 pounds heavier than me. And he walks across it and he's like, oh my God, this one's moving. And he was really scared. And I was like, I wasn't actually scared of that one because I don't weigh as much as he does. Anyway, it was fun. And my legs were certainly tired. Press it up, shake it out, let it go. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And then roll yourself back and forth. And while it was super challenging at the time, I wasn't at all sore the next day. And that's because of this work. But it was certainly a cardio challenge. And if you feel like you want to, you can take it forward into that. You can make this a little bigger, reaching up, and then taking this forward. You could do a little hop. My mat is all rolled up back there. Just an option. Don't do it if you don't want to. Last one. And then come down. And let's open up into a straddle. We're going to get down onto our stomachs in a minute, but let's straddle first. And just easy arch and curl. So you're rolling a little bit on your pelvis. If you need to push from the back to get the arch in there, go for it. Just letting yourself roll across your sit bones. Easy and loose. Not any huge effort here. Relax your neck, tongue, and throat. Mobilizing your spine. Okay, let's take it to the side. Side stretch. You're going to exhale. down towards your knee. Inhale, push into the floor, arch and open the spiral. Exhale toward the leg. Inhale, spiral and open. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Last one. Exhale down. Stay there. Walk it into center. And then push the floor away. Roll it up. Open it out. Taking it to the other side. Side stretch. Exhale. Down toward the knee. Inhale. Open it up. Exhale down. Inhale. Open. Exhale down. Inhale. Open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stay. Walk it into center. And then push the floor away and come up. And let's bring the legs in. Just give them a shake up and down. Bang them out. Rotate in and out. Loose and easy. Maybe take your hands and just feel into your tissue. Like a lot of times I can feel where I'm tight. Like, oh, I can feel that when I do this, I can feel like under here, the sort of celery stalk of my peroneal. So I can kind of dig my fingers in it and just give it a little bit more movement. Same thing on the other side. Yeah, and if I go in, I can feel where else is it tight. So for me right now, it's really that outer muscle of my back of my calf. Sometimes people are very tight in the front. So you can also, here's the bone, find the bone, the front of your tibia, and then go just to the inside and see if you can get some movement. So you're drawing your tibialis anterior, the muscle in the front of your shin, just a little bit away from the bone. So we're not trying to rip anything or pull anything. We're just trying to give it some more space, give it some more mobility, right? So if let's say you're a dancer and your tibialis anterior is really tight, you're going to get shin splints because there's not enough movement in there. So giving it some movement, and I can pinch in, give it pressure. Another thing, let's say you've been wearing high heels all day long, stomping around on pavement. You're probably going to be like having a lot of weird stuff going on in your feet and legs, unless you're really accustomed to that. So yeah, just getting in there, giving it some movement so that your tissues can readjust. Ha. Yeah, I can go down into my ankles and feet as well. So this isn't going to be so much when I'm in here, there are muscles, but mostly I'm going to be touching into tendon, ligament. Tendon connects muscle to bone. Ligament connects bone to bone. And then fascia tissue, like in there are muscles, but it's like you're going to be working more with the tissues that are a little more fibrous and dense, right? And if I come around the back and I stick my hand in here, I'm going like that. That's across the Achilles. So I can kind of cross-hatch my Achilles and feel what's going on down there, right? This is the let's avoid a snapped Achilles tendon exercise. Yeah. All right, let's shake that out and come over to our hands and knees. Curling your toes under, you're going to bend your elbows, arch. Top of the feet to the floor, push and round your spine. Toes curl under, pushing back through your heels, through your butt. Chest is opening, shoulders are drawing down. And then push and curl. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, hollow and curl. Let's do the bend your elbows towards the floor, come up, and then come onto the ball of your hand, wrist down, and push up. If you have wrist issues and you need to take your weight further back for this, that's fine. Take as much weight on your arms as feels good to you, but just awakening that whole system from your fingertips through the wrist, through the elbow, through the shoulder girdle. Getting some movement in there. Yeah. And let's go over the back of the hands this way and just draw them in. So curling in the little monkey hands. We can continue to round in and then push down and arch, round in, push down and arch, round in, push down and arch, round in, push down and arch. We want to give our tissues, let's do, I know you guys all have weights, or maybe if you don't, you can just use cans. The tissues of the wrist and the hand, we're going to come to, it can be seated or up on your knees. If you've got short arms, and this is like my little ape position, right? If I sit up tall, my hands don't really touch, but I'm going to come up onto my knees. I'm going to go up, I'm going to flip them over, open out, bring it in, flip, and down. Up, flip, open, close, in, down. Up, flip, open, close, down, up, flip, open, close, down, up, flip, open, close, down, up. Let's just stay here and open, close for like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So this isn't so much so that we feel like, oh my God, my muscles are burning. It's more that we're getting the movement inside the small like fibers of the muscle and the fascia so that it has this capacity for differentiation. It's not getting all gummed up and stuck together, right? So when we spend a lot of time like this on our, or like this, one part of our body is doing a lot of work and the rest of it's kind of locked up. We want to feel the connection of from the fingertips through the arm into our torso, right? So this is all connected in. The support of the inner body to the outer body and the outer body to the inner body is in relationship. So when we're here, there's a sense of one whole system working together as opposed to I've got these fingers and wrists at the edge of my body, but it's one big system connected. All right, let's take it into a forearm plank. Feet kind of wide, circles with your pelvis, down towards the floor and then up. And then change direction, other way. And we're going to come up to a regular plank, and we're just going to shift to one side and then the other. Shifting onto one side and the other, shift and shift, then forward and backward, forward and backward, forward and backward, forward and backward, forward and backward. Then a circle. So you're circling yourself over your wrists. And then the other way. And then come in and release that. Let's interlace our fingers. Elbows are pulling out and away. So there's a widening through the chest, widening through the elbows. You can turn your head from side to side. Fingertips are holding, but you're getting this pull, opening up that space in each wrist. Relax the neck and jaw, relax the tongue. All right, one more thing. Hands open wide, wider than your sticky mat, circles down towards the floor and then up. Use your breath. Change direction. And come in, back to your forearm plank one more time. Spread out your fingers. One knee to the floor at a time, parallel. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Twisting underneath, big twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Take it down to the floor. Bend your knees. Let your legs fall from side to side. Big breathing. Really fill up your lungs. Use your breath. Relax and soften. Trying to inhale through your nose, it can be a practice to start to really focus your awareness on inhaling through your nose, even especially as you start to do harder things like getting more cardiovascular, trying to keep the breathing through your nose. When you feel like you really need to mouth breathe and add that extra bit of breath, go for it. But nose breathing is much healthier for our system. It filters the air, it moisturizes the air. And also, for some reason, I don't know why, and I can't even remember where I heard this. I think it was on the Huberman podcast. When we're breathing through our nose, we actually take in more oxygen than when we're breathing through our mouth. I do not know why. I have to re-listen, figure that one out. Arms out to the side, legs on the floor, circles. You can exhale through your mouth if you want. Although I think exhaling through your nose is also good. I think we get more nitric oxide when we do the whole nose version. Change direction. And nitric oxide is a antifungal, antiviral, and antibacterial, a natural one. Hands next to your chest. Arch up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Sometimes it just feels good to breathe out of your mouth. But pay attention to what feels good and what you're doing. And then take it back. Child's pose. Wiggle around, shift, soften, melt. Freedom from your head to your tail. Free up your shoulder blades. Let go. Soften and melt. Interlace your hands out in front of your head. You're going to roll up to the crown of your head and then roll it back. Rolling it up and down. Up and down. And up and down. And shift and come back. All right, let's do this one. We're going to do it on our elbows. So you're going to come onto elbows and knees, take one leg out behind you. You're going to lift as high as it can go. Take it out to the side. You can push into that hand. Oh, my butt. And lower down. Thank you. All the work I did yesterday. Lift, take it back behind you, both elbows to the floor, lower. Up to the side and lower. Up to the back, lower. Up to the side and lower. Up to the back, lower, up to the side, lower, up to the back, lower, up to the side, lower, up to the back. Last one, up to the side and lower, up to the back and lower. Take your butt back, just shift it from side to side. Relax your head in the opposite direction. And then come up and we'll switch it to the other side. Just let yourself readjust for a second. Taking in all the things that we've just done before we launch into the second half. For 1 second. That was the 1 second processing moment. Other leg. Up to the side and lower. Up to the back. Down. Up. Side. Lower. Up. Back, down. Each time you get to the side or the back, see if you can just lift it a little higher. Really reaching up. Up, side, lower, up, back, lower, up, side, lower, up, back. 2 more. Up, side, down, up, side, back. Last one. And take it back into your child's pose. Again, shifting your head in one direction, butt in the other direction. and then come back up. And let's just see what time it is because I'm super not paying attention. All right, we're almost done. Let's do this rolling across mobility exercise. So starting with just releasing our butts by rolling from side to side. So I'm kind of rounding my spine. I'm curling in so I can get like maximal butt roll. That's such a weird way of putting it. Rolling side side. And then we're going to stay on one side and you're kind of going to rock. You can rock in any direction, but you're going to get some shear in there so that there's a different kind of movement than rolling across it in the tissue. Switch it to the other side, same thing. And then we're going to change it. So you're going to come across and just touch. So you're getting the spiral. You could add the arm up if you want to. We're going to have a couple different versions of this. So first, let's do the around, up. You're going to just circle up and then down, around, up, down, around, press and release, around. And if you want to, you can start to look back over so you're really arching. If you add the eyeballs, you'll get more of a back bend. Opening. Give yourself time for as much of a back bend as you want. Good. Then we're going to change it. I'm just going to face front for this one. Let's see, how are we changing it? We're going to change it to, you're going to come up and you're going to reach out, bring it in. So coming up, shifting your weight. Roll across, shift. Roll across, shift. You could do this with no hands so that you're getting used to mobilizing, if that feels okay. You can also really work with spatial intent, like you're going to something. I'm going somewhere. I'm coming back. Specific location. And then let's let that go and come in. And just take a forward fold from there. Walking your butt from side to side. Fold it forward. Surrender. Let go. Melt. Breathe. And then bring it up. Let's do figure 4 on our backs. Crossing your ankle over your knee. Let's roll it from side to side. Really relaxed and easy, just letting it fall one way and then the other first before we go all the way in. Again, massaging through the back of the hips and the butt. So one thing I find that when I do my morning walks is that my back can get tight just from walking. So like I have to do a lot of forward folding, but I also really need this kind of rolling across my hips to release this area in my sacrum and in my glutes. Switch it to the other side, same thing. And so if you think of the tissue in there like a sponge, as we're rolling across it, we're kind of wringing it out, and we're also letting it fill up again. And there's different layers, right? There's different layers of the fascia, there's different layers of the muscle fibers and tissues. Oh, listen to this is now my house creaking like an old ship. My stomach was doing it before, now it's just my house. Coming back in and coming back to your first side, draw your leg in towards you. If you want to straighten the bottom leg, go ahead. I can do this with my butt on the floor, or I can peel it up and draw it in. So listen into your body. What do you need right now? Do that, even if it's totally different than what I'm doing. And then switch it to the other side. Shake it out a little bit so you have the space to get there. Whatever version you did on the first side, same thing. And unscramble. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Roll yourself forward. Let's take it into a forward fold. Feet wide. Let yourself shift from side to side, from one leg to the other. Relaxing your back, relaxing your head, relaxing your neck, shifting your weight. Just inviting more mobility through the spine. Lots of space. Cushy, marshmallowy discs supporting your spine. And as you move, those little discs have a chance to just readjust. Come into center and roll all the way up, coming up to the top. Feeling into your body, seeing what you feel like now. A little bounce. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale, open. I think I have to close this session today with a little view of the pea pod in her glory. There she is. Oh, hello. You didn't even make a noise. Sorry to come in at you like that. There's her one little pea right here. Single pea in the belly. She's like, I'm instantly ready to play because you came so close and shocked me. No wonder she makes all those weird little noises. All right, if you are there in TV land, I am going to stop this recording.